for no reason because they were doing everything right. They were showing up to appointments. They were not the criminals that they claimed they were going to get, right? Because the last time I checked, a 1 month old, I don't know what crime a 1 month old, except for the crying, I don't know what crime a 1 month old commits. But literally, we have people that are incarcerated right now in this country, and the people that are being incarcerated are literally treated worse than people that are sitting in prison after a conviction. I know this as a former criminal defense attorney. I have walked into my fair share of jails and prisons. It is absolutely abysmal. But we weren't going to stop there with Liam. We talked to hundreds of people when we were there. We, meaning me and Carmen, because I don't speak too much Spanish. But we did. And there was a woman by the name of Maricela. In fact, everybody at Dilly has her cell phone number. And Maricela was in the process of trying to figure out whether or not she had cancer. She shows up to her court appointment as she's supposed to. And Maricela then was taken into custody, her husband, and her children. Maricela was sitting there in the Dilly facility writing as she was talking about the lumps were getting harder and getting more painful in her breast. But because of Una Visión, so let me make sure I give them their love as well. They have been consistent about making sure they could highlight these stories. And because we were adamant about making sure that we would follow up and do everything that we could, Maricela is walking free today.
Hey! All right.
Every election, politicians will tell you that it's life or death. I'm here to tell you that this election really is life or death. We cannot afford to get this wrong. We have to make sure that we send an experienced fighter to beat whoever comes down on the Republican side and head to DC. You guys are doing a fantastic job. Democrats are showing up in numbers that we've never seen. Never. Y'all are ready. People tell us all the time what Texas ain't. I know who we are and what we are and what we are going to do. So God bless each and every one of you.
All right.
Let's go win this shit.
All right.
Hey, my name is Lauren Pena. I currently reside in one of the oldest housing projects on the east side of Austin, Texas. We're currently having our constitutional and civil rights violated, and I reached out to every single elected official here in Austin, Texas, who are all Democrats. None of them would help me. So I decided to run for Congress as a Republican. But with that being said, would you support me or help the people in my community and work across party lines?
Okay. So, so you know I feel the way about the Republican part. But 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 I'm gonna tell you this though. What she said is real. We need more people that honestly live in their communities and they feel in a way, and so they decide to get active. I still feel the way about the Republican side, but I'm going to tell you that as a senator, I'm going to be a senator for every single rep in my state. This state is not going to have all Democratic reps. That's just the reality. And I told a story just a minute ago about Senator Cornyn because I'm just honest. I mean, it gets me in trouble sometimes, but I am. I'm just blatantly, brutally honest. And when I first swore in, Senator Cornyn called me into his office and he told me that he wanted to work with me. Senator Cornyn and I have legislation that's been signed into law by Joe Biden together. I worked with Kate Granger to get, most people think the biggest accomplishment I had my freshman term was calling somebody a bleach blonde. You know what?
Yeah. We can finish it.
But that was not my biggest accomplishment. My biggest accomplishment my freshman term was working with then the chair of appropriations who happened to be a Texan, Kate Granger. Kate Granger was chairing appropriations as a Republican, and we worked together to get one of three ARPA H locations into Texas. We were the only Republican state to get one. We were able to get that location into my district. For everybody who's like, what the hell are you talking about with ARPA H? After the pandemic, we wanted to make sure that we were better prepared. So this was all about making sure that we could do the research and have it out on the forefront. Kate Granger worked with me. along with a number of other Republicans. They worked with me to get that facility into my district. I set up my district as a hub. We have spokes that we put throughout the state. I went down to the Rio Grande Valley. I talked to them to find out what was going on in their hospitals, what their concerns were. I learned that they literally were needing more and more investments as it relates to research around diabetes specifically. San Antonio was another one that we looked to put a spoke into. So to me, governance is not necessarily what you see me do because it doesn't really go viral. But frankly, we've got to work together because at the end of the day, the way that I look at this right now is that we are all in the same sinking ship, right? So we've got to work together. So I pledge to you, if you become the House member as a Republican and I become the senator as a Democrat, I am telling you that I'm going to work for the people of Texas because it's not about who elected me, unlike what we're getting out of somebody else. It is about serving the people that you were elected to represent. And ultimately, even now, there are Republicans in my district that will tell you that they never fear calling my office because we don't care about your party affiliation. If you need help getting your passport, if you need help with your IRS, if you need help with those, we don't care about that. We were elected to serve. And that is my frustration right now is that a lot of people are in office and they are ignoring that we just have a title. My title will be U.S. Senator. First. You're welcome. All right, y'all. Let's go.